So I'm in a chair, I've got a cup of coffee, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to talk about End War. So End War 2023 in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina at the University of North Carolina Charlotte campus. First thing I want to say before we get into any of this, I have been to a lot of college campuses in my time. I grew up at Penn State. My family is from Columbus, Ohio, home of the Ohio State University. My parents went to Kent State. I've been to Pitt, Penn, LSU, probably a dozen of them all told over the course of my life. This is one of the prettiest campuses I have ever had the privilege to be on, and the moderators made excellent use of the facilities available to them. So before we get into any of this, beautiful campus, lovely moderation team. Let's get into it. I showed up for FoamCon at like noon on Friday. Met up with some of the people I was there to play with. Brain, Spike, and Dora, who also ran PA Survival Fest, and started wandering around looking at what was up. And my immediate concern arriving at FoamCon was it was fairly sparsely attended. There were not a lot of people milling around. There wasn't a lot going on. And with terms to like the vendor area, there were a lot of empty tables. And at least some of them I'm pretty sure weren't supposed to be empty, but were. The vendors that were actually in attendance at the event this year were Silver Fox and Containment Crew. Silver Fox had brought more than a handful of 3D printed blasters, some pretty cool Pride-themed swag. They had 2 or 3 different sticker designs that were just free, and some blaster charms that they were just giving out. Ooh, and stress balls. They had stress balls. And then they were selling tumblers, water bottles, stuff like that, which are cool, right? They've got their logo or End War's logo printed on it, so those were neat. Containment Crew had all the normal stuff you'd expect for Containment Crew to have, and he had the new Auto Nightingales for sale. I managed to restrain myself from buying a blaster I would only use for a review. We'll see how long I can manage to keep doing that. And then Orca Company, one of their guys was selling some 3D printed blasters, and he had a couple of those slug stapler griffins. Those were cool. And then there was a guy, I want to say he was called Legacy Blasters. I apologize, I wasn't reporting on the event. But he had like old school, big, obnoxious plunger tubes and RCSBs and stuff like that. And that was neat to see on the con floor. And then Blaster Core was there. Blaster Core was not actively vending again. They didn't have the afterburners with them. But Jonathan was talking about getting back into it. But what Jonathan did have, and what I will get the files from, literally the second I can track the man down to get them, is the Compensator Titan package, which I did a short about. The Compensator Titan package is a rifle stock kit to rewire your Titan into a rifle that requires no shell cuts of any kind and just bolts onto the backside. It is gorgeous. The room they had it in could have been part of the problem with feeling sparsely attended. It was a massive room. And the only other tables that were occupied were the official End War merch table where they were selling patches. They did not have a new End War patch for this year, before anybody asks about that. T-shirts, that kind of stuff. And then Dart Zone. But Dart Zone wasn't allowed to fire blasters in the building during FoamCon. We're going to talk about why here in a second. But they weren't allowed to. So all you could do was handle their new products, which of course was the Mark IV, the Outlaw, the Thunderbolt, and the Omnia. Outlaw is going to be great. Everybody's going to love it. Right? It's a Hammer Prime pistol. It's got the revolver aesthetic. It looks a lot like McCree's sidearm when you get it in hand, I'll be honest. I got confirmation Thunderbolt basically is just a better Spectrum, which is good, right? Spectrum was good. This is better. The Mark IV is fun to handle, but if you already own a Swift, or if you already own a Harrier, or if you already own something like that, it's kind of pointless. But if you're a Dart Zone first guy, go get a Mark IV. It's neat, and it feels good in the hand. But the Omnia, wow, the Omnia. So I have lots of thoughts about it that we'll get into when I get one in the building and can actually go through it with a fine-tooth comb. But the thing I'm going to tell you here, it doesn't use a pusher. It uses like a flipper paddle assembly in the top of it that enables it to get the rate of fire and stuff it does. It's really, really interesting, and I like new engineering. So I'm definitely buying one just to look at that part. The only other thing going on Friday was safety briefings. They had a kind of a continuously running safety briefing where you watched a 10-minute video, and then they did their waivers, and then you picked up your bandana and pledged to a god of the Pantheon. We all pledged to Athena because we thought it was going to matter. It didn't. And then blaster checks, which were a two-phase. You had the normal FPS check we'd all expect, and then you had an honest-to-God police officer present to inspect any modified appearance on a blaster and ensure you that, yes, you were safe to have that on their campus. Which brings me back to why Dart Zone couldn't fire blasters in the building. So, this is hard to talk about. In 2019, UNC Charlotte had a active shooter incident where people died, which led to a number of changes for their local club with regards to what the administration allows them to do and what they could allow us to do as attendees at the event, that incurred varying degrees of unreasonableness from people coming to visit for the Invitational. Due to this event, the school had a couple of hard, fast rules. One of them was you could have no blaster out and loaded in the Union building where they were doing briefings, safety, foam con, all that kind of stuff, and where you were in between missions. This led to what I think is the weirdest rule of the weekend, which is we were not allowed to have blasters out in the building, and so we had to cover them. I was wearing a big tactical backpack, so it wasn't that hard for me to shove a blaster in it. But lots of people were carrying things they couldn't easily conceal in a bag because they weren't carrying a bag that big. That led to Spike and Dora shoving things in pillowcases, and led to myself and Alex from Detroit Dart Talk routinely shoving multiple blasters up underneath our shirt and just wandering around the building with them shoved in there. And that was a rule that was confusing to me, because I would think as the school administration and as the safety and security minded professionals on their police force, that I would much rather have the brightly colored toy blasters out and in the open and not concealed beneath a shirt or something. Like, that makes it more dangerous to me. But, as it was one of their policies, we just accepted it without question, because that's what you should do. It's the policy. The second policy, which led to loadouts some of us might not have favored normally, but had a lot of fun with, was tactical gear. Due to said incident, the school has a pretty blanket ban on chest rigs, vests, right, plate carriers, anything that looks overly tactical. They'll allow some of it if it's brightly colored enough, which led to a lot of duct tape getting stuck to rigs, but there was some wishy-washiness leading up to the event. And there was some debate within the group of people that I was going to meet up with, which included Spike, Brain, Dora, Alex and Eric from Detroit Dart Talk, and then Derek, and what is Derek's buddy's name? Because I'm a terrible friend. Kevin from, I think they're Pittsburgh Technical College, but they might be Grove City College. I think it's Grove City. And me and Alex were going back and forth, and we were both kind of doing this as a side gig when we were on vacation. He was going to family vacation in South Carolina, and me and my fiance were going to Charlotte for the holiday weekend. So he suggested that we run Tomcats, Spring Down Tomcats. And so I said, deal, Drum War. So we ran Tomcats, and we were both supposed to run Fortnite 6SHs. He didn't even bother to bring the Fortnite 6SH. We had a great time. So don't let anybody tell you that you need to have 65 mags and an FDL to enjoy an HVZ. You could have a wonderful time with a drum-fed Tomcat and a positive disposition. The reason we made that decision, however, was that the tactical gear thing kept sliding back and forth leading up to the event. How much they could allow, how much they couldn't, how much pushback they were getting from the police. In the future, I would ask the community, if a school says, hey, we can't have tactical gear because the police say so, just roll with it. Don't push back on them and question them and try to make demands and try to reach out to their local police and whatever else people decided to do. Just say okay. Pick a different loadout. Run something you wouldn't normally run. Have different fun. Trust me, if that's the way their school functions, they already build their missions around an understanding that you can't carry 1,100 rounds of half darts. So maybe help them out. And to the moderators, just stick to your guns, guys. Make a decision, hammer it home. Don't let them fight with you about it. If you say no tac gear because that's what's better for your school, just say it. Those of us who are decent human beings will roll with it, and we'll yell at the guys who don't. We want your game to be successful. My only other, I don't want to call it a condemnation, but wrinkle for this event. So we're in the South. It was over 100 degrees on Saturday, July 1st. And the verticality of this campus was a endeavor. This was a campus where, honest to God, we were going uphill both ways everywhere we went, and it made no sense. Now, it did lead to some real cool stuff in Mission 2, which we will get to, and it did lead to some aggravations of old injuries, which we'll get to as well. But that is something to keep in mind in the future if you are going to any event, is what is the nature of their campus layout and how are you going to react to it. The theme of this event, as we lead into the actual mission talking about stuff, was Greek themed. It was not story driven per se. It had a loose plot of Hades trying to destroy or conquer Olympus and humans attempting to prevent it. And I will be candid, the single best part of this theme was the fact that it got Drac dressed in a toga all day long. And watching Drac strut around campus, all pleased with himself, in a toga and a pair of sneakers, it made even the hard times a little more hysterical. Because Drac in a toga strutting around campus. Let's talk about rules. This was a standard HVZ, 130 hard cap. Bandana on your arm if you're a human, bandana on your head if you're a zombie. The zombies had 3 regularly occurring specials that the campus uses. 1, they had noodles and shields, which I'm going to call as one thing, because I never saw one with both. Shields block darts, noodles give you distance, works like always. They had a necromancer, which is a respawn point. You got to high five the necromancer. And then they had what they call a smoker. Normally their smoker is apparently identified by wearing a cowboy hat, which they could not do because there were more than a dozen of us wearing cowboy hats at the event. A smoker is a spitter, right? They get a spitter ball that kills. This is a theme of UNCC's rule set. There are no zombie abilities that stun. There are only zombie abilities that kill. I will repeat this because it will be important later. Zombie abilities only kill. Mission 1. It's campus tour style mission. Go out, find the artifacts, bring them back to the armory, which is across the road from the Union in the area that the UNCC kids collectively refer to only as Killbox. As we start discussing what we're going to do, the moderator in charge of the room we are all in. Oh yeah, they've split us up into rooms. You have a moderator in the room who gives you the briefing and sets you on the way. Your room may be split into 2 groups, and they'll just release you on like 2-minute increments. It's nice. It was actually a pretty good methodology when you don't have a big auditorium or something. But as we're debating like how we want to do this, where we want to go, they ask for Troll Squad volunteers. And in the opposite of We Are behavior, you can hear me, Dora, I know you're going to watch this. In the opposite of We Are behavior, Dora, Brain, and Derek all decide they're going to go be zombies for this mission and screw off. So of the people I came to play this game with, 3 of them have just departed. Now, the thing that made this deeply, deeply hilarious is Eric and Alex from Detroit Dart Talk had wandered back to the car to deposit some gear and get some other gear they'd forgotten, and to walk back in to find just, nearly half of our squad has wandered off without them while they were gone. They found it pretty amusing. I still didn't. I was still pretty annoyed with Dora. I'm still kind of annoyed with Dora. You hear me? This is not We Are behavior. So, because 3/8 of our squad, nearly half, had decided to wander off, Spike made the call that Brotroit Unicorn and Friends, which is what we were referring to the group as, would go on a walk off to the athletic complex and kind of get a lay of the land and do the campus tour part of the campus tour mission. We recovered 3 artifacts, either over there or on our way back, including a helmet, which I'm assuming is the helmet of Ares. I didn't ever get to handle it. The winged sandals of Hermes, and one other that someone literally stumbled over, picked up, and just carried with us. Never even saw it, just knew we had it. When we got back to the back of the Union, we tucked all the blasters in and wandered through the Union to go look through the front doors and see what the situation was across the road.
Let me go through and see what's going on the other side.
If anyone else needs to, I have a shirt downstairs. I'm wearing the extra baggy shirt today for a reason. Oh, that was my class. You know what? I'm okay with this mechanic now because it's causing questions.
Morning.
We got one Zed at the bottom of the steps.
Hey, do we want to get the group before we all head out?
I'm just looking out the window here. That's a whole human group across the road. One Zed on our side.
Alright, whose nemesis do I have? Okay. I see humans there. It looks like we just have to push in.
There's one Zed on our side.
Okay.
standing by the lamppost, right?
Respawns in sub 1.
Alright, so let him. Well, he's banded up. Do we want to wait for sub 1 and go, or?
I'm saying we go. Because there's
Okay.
people right there.
There's Shinobi. Go, go.
The
Yeah.
Shinobi win.
Here.
Where's our artifact? Where's our artifact? Is he across
Right
the
there.
street already?
Let's go. Let's go, go.
On me on your left, guy.
Zombie left.
Is he stunned or no? Stunned?
Where's my brother? Ah, there he goes.
Goblin!
Where is he?
She's fine. She's a human, she's fine. She's a human, she's fine.
Move the rest of the group up.
Do you guys know of any more, like, all the artifacts? No more artifacts out there?
Security patch ready to take in.
Yeah, then get them in. We're good. We've
Let's
got
go, let's
cover.
go.
Get them the fuck in.
We got it.
Humans, come back. Form line.
Come on!
Humans, come form line. Join that line, please. Double humans, join that line.
Why are we... So what are we doing?
There's not enough time to actually go looking, so.
If you're an Athena, go ahead and cross. We have rear guard.
So he turned in, so we're just moving out?
We have 2, and yeah.
Works for me.
I think we hold this point to them.
Mission ends in 2. Mission ends in 2. Anybody else?
I'm worried about zombies.
If there's one thing growing up in State College, Pennsylvania taught me, it's cars will stop. I'm going to get in some shade. That's what I'm going to do.
Son of Odin.
Oh, you want to hold this beachhead?
Basically, I'm expecting mission ends. They're like, okay, cool, lunch break, and just beeline for the building.
Yeah, and we'll hold the beachhead. Yeah, okay.
Even though they do have to deal with crossing the street and the stairs.
Hold the beachhead. I'm with you.
That's why when we came out, I'm like, we have enough firepower and there are enough people. Mission ends in a minute. Play does not stop though. Mission ends, but play doesn't stop. And I see people throwing their hands up. I'm like,
Play is live! Zombies are live!
That's lunch, right?
Hey, Athena! We're gonna
Athena, beachhead! Come on, come on, come on!
Human, play does not stop! Get over here!
Let's go! Zed live! Come on, brother, we got you back. Come on.
Come on up. Mission done, getting briefing.
Horde is now on side!
Fives. Horde is on fives.
Fives for free play?
Twos in mission, fives for free play. Cross! Cross! Cross!
Move on the stairs. Let him up the stairs. Move out of the way.
Gun sweep! Left!
Athena, eyes to the sides. Zed down the hill. All right. Humans, pull back. Keep your eyes on them.
So after the beachhead ended and we all retreated inside and we had lunch break, we were all hooting and hollering and, hey, we did pretty good. And the troll squatters come back and Dora's like, oh, no, you guys lost before you even got there. A human group sent in a runner to deposit one of the artifacts. They got tagged by the zombies within like 5 minutes of the start of the mission. And the zombies recovered that artifact and you needed all 24 to win. And we're like, 20 what? There were 24 objects that needed to be recovered and returned in order for the humans to win this mission. We didn't even know there were 24. We had no idea how many there were. So we couldn't even keep a running count of like what we think has been picked up, what we had brought in, any of that kind of thing. So we had lunch break, which was cool. I went to Cookout because I'm not from the area. And everybody has their regional fast food option they claim is better than other regional fast food options. And I will tell you, Carolina's Cookout, sufficient. It's fine. It's definitely better than McDonald's, but not as good as like Five Guys or something like that. I like it better than Shake Shack, if that makes you guys feel better. Mission 2. This was, of the missions we ran at End War, this was the coolest designed mission. So we had to enter the labyrinth and recover puzzle pieces, which then had to be taken to a secondary location to be deciphered. Amongst our squad, we made the decision that we should hold the decipher location and send the speed squads to run the maze. Either running heavy gear or we're heavy people, and we're not built for the nature of the maze as was explained to us. And this maze, I love the PA Survival Fest guys. I enjoyed their event tremendously. I liked them so much I went to another event to play with them, right? This maze is better. Their maze was fine. This maze was awesome. Like, the design and concept of this should be stolen by everyone who watches this video who runs an event. You need to pay total attention to me for the next, 2 minutes. So the way they did the maze, because of the verticality of their campus, they made the immediate statement, humans can only go up the stairs. Humans can only ever go upstairs. So they make a wall, right? Stairs become a wall. And humans can only pass one way through these one-way barriers, which were just 2 cones and a line painted on the ground or taped on the ground. Whatever works for you. And now, all of a sudden, they've created a dynamic field of fairly narrow corridors on these sidewalks and such that the humans have to follow like a maze. But the zombies can go any which way they want. So you have the danger of an almost alien-esque, they're coming out of the walls. They can take us at any time. It's a wonderful idea. And more people should steal it. And to force the humans to run the maze, there's only one thing you can put in a Greek labyrinth. And of course, it was a minotaur. They had their head mod wearing this goofy little cowboy hat thing with these horns mounted on the side of it. And he pushed human groups through the maze. since he had to follow the same pathing as them, the humans couldn't even depend on, like, the zombie respawns or having to work around them, because the Minotaur couldn't be stunned. The Minotaur couldn't be stopped. The Minotaur just pursued. Alongside the Minotaur and the regular zombies, they put in 3 other Z NPCs themed to Greek myth. These 3 Z NPCs were Zombie Achilles, who was just a zombie. He had no special qualities except an Achilles heel. And in this case, it was, I believe, 3 like aluminum baking pans that he was wearing on his back. You had to hit the baking pans to stun him. Worked great, looked goofy, but worked great and was really enjoyable. Then they had Scylla, who, you know, mother of monsters. She had a clothes basket full of stuffed Beanie Babies that if you shot her, she would throw them up in the air, and that was her only tag mechanic. If you get hit by the Beanie Baby, you're dead. Again, dead. Not stunned, dead. So you either don't shoot her, or you pop her so far away that the zombies with her can't make use of her. Those are your 2 options. And finally, we had Arachne, played by Wormy. And Arachne had a belt of noodles around her waist. And all of these noodles killed. And she had an abomination stuffed animal thing on a rope that she could throw out and tag you with.
Horde was spotted by the river.
Yeah.
The river's this way.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to. She's going to push. Just don't let any normals through. We need to tight her.
Yeah.
Taskmaster. Don't turn around. Tight her that way. Tight her that way. Don't let any others through, but tight her that way. This way.
You okay? Okay. I got questionable ankles, so anytime that happens, I get concerned about people.
Dude, so do I.
Yeah.
I broke my ankle once, and it's
You got the sunscreen, all that good stuff?
Yep, I got sunscreen.
Awesome.
I'm gonna reapply it.
We can't do anything. He's not active. Yeah. Yep, it's a hell of a rope.
Is it just her or does she have backup?
There's Zambles in the hall. There's one right there. He's going to try to duck in behind that bush and claim that it's out of sight. Yeah, they have no pursuit rules. I actually fired on the one, but
Sorry, Ryan, it wasn't me, but. He can't respawn as long as you can see him.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's all I need. Thank you.
If I yell tunnel, move.
How mad would you be right now if I said one? 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it might be coming your way.
Yeah, you keep an eye in there. Make sure brain doesn't.
James, we're
Come on, we need more side pitches. We got this. Can't look everywhere.
Ryan, what did you just do? We love you, Ermy.
She set herself up for this.
Yes, she did. I don't think they were ready for how coordinated we are. Brain, please.
Tag.
Brain, no unnecessary risk.
8, 7, 6, 5,
Human contact.
3, 2, 1.
Tag.
Ooh. Don't worry, I got a line behind me. I'm just making sure nobody gets near that.
Tag. Tag.
Taking her that way.
She's just kind of zooming, man.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I know.
Tag.
Hi, there he is.
Tag. She goes where she wants. Tag. 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 Sorry. Tag.
You guys poke. Pretend like you're fired.
Please charge it in time.
Oh.
Please charge it in time.
Donkey chain.
What?
Bad German for thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm just gonna try to keep
Zombies gate! Zombies gate!
Please charge it in time.
Which ways are they entering?
Gate. I think we're okay there now.
Please charge it in time.
I will be the official guest. I'm loud and I'm easy to spot. Does that start now? I can guess and then I'm not going to. Who wants to guess a word?
Please charge it in time. How many letters do you have? Not the first 3 words. 10 words. 5 letters of the last word. We need like 1 more. Okay. I know. I'm already Please charge it in time. 1. Set. 9. 8. 7.
Yep.
6. 5. Please charge it in time.
Hey, Ma, don't forget there's some civilians right behind you.
Lovely to see you guys. Thank you.
Please charge it in time.
Question. If you let me walk that way, I will not stun anybody. Thank you. He stunned me from 3 feet away. I have a vendetta.
Brain. I will take that kite.
So she wasn't hard to deal with, but she wasn't technically kiteable, as you can see. However, there is one thing that you can always count on to kite a problematic special, and that is how irritated they will become with Brain. So, Brain, as always, my friend, I salute you. Eventually, without all the letters available to them, Alex from Detroit Dart Talk and a couple of the others managed to put together the full prophecy, which was Olympus Prophecy Foretold Underworld. That was the puzzle we were supposed to solve. At which point, the maze dissolves and we declare we need to go. It was not communicated 100% clearly which ways we could go. We ended up going a rather problematic path to get back to the Union. We had to take a brief medical hold because someone had a heat-aggravated condition. But fortunately, we had a medic with us at the time, and he was able to deband, sort the issue out with the individual who had the medical hold, and I was able to get back to the building, deband, run out, find the moderator, Wormy again, and tell her, hey, Just so you know, you've got a couple of players down the hill. They're on a medical hold, but they've got a medic with them. We're all good, but that way you guys know what's up. She thanked me, and fun for me, I got the Arachne if you got tagged by her button, just for being a decent human being. So that was super cool. Thanks very much. Thank you for Turkey. Being a medic and being there when we needed you. That's really nice to see at any game. Mission 3. I have issues with Mission 3. Mission 3 is, per what I got from the head mod the next day, something of a signature mission type for UNCC. They call it a briefcase mission, but it's another campus tour style mission where they have to go out and wander a significant distance doing things in order to complete the mission. This is also the mission where we probably had the most zombie involvement up to this point, which we should, right? It's Mission 3, which was we were hounded by a group of zombies with shields, noodles, a smoker for the first probably 15 minutes of our hike.
We're getting pushed.
Oh, we got the horde behind us, guys. Horde of 7 behind us? Okay, we got this.
Yeah. Let's tuck in around this corner.
Well, I mean, for that, we mostly just played. You go wherever you think is safest.
10 behind.
Did you say 10 zombies behind?
10.
10 behind.
Baller. Let's go. Oh, well, let's just cross the street so that we can fight later.
Let's move them into the street then.
Guys, get on the street. Get on the street.
All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Be aware, there is a dodgeball. Oh.
Oh, there they are.
No jaywalking.
Yeah, that's illegal across the street there, isn't it, Mod?
Yeah, come on.
No jaywalking!
Okay, that's fine.
Really for safety reasons.
He's coming up behind us, too.
Yeah, he's just a little behind.
A lot of people with Arduinos.
Hi.
Hey, humans, how we holding up?
Huzzah!
Could be cooler. Alright, guys. I gotta go. I gotta hit my squad. Ah, we're back here. Okay. These are the statues up here. Oh, yeah. We're almost to our goal.
Mike, we're going to have to engage this.
Yeah, and that's it. The thing is that there's 2 escorts. So just stick with me. Yeah, keep watching.
No, we need the ones behind us. We need to tag them.
Yeah.
We're not worried about him. We're worried about the 20
Circle around.
He also jaywalked. Guys, make a circle.
Make a circle. Defend. Guys, don't turn your back.
You have to get over here because we are protecting her.
Yeah, and she's behind us now.
off the field.
Yeah, but we're protecting him.
Homeboys come behind us.
Half of us.
Come behind us.
Yeah, okay, some are down.
Guys, watch
You
out.
gotta bounce.
We gotta walk this. We gotta walk.
Yeah, he has to.
Kenobi, that's not our group.
Ours is crossing too. Ours is crossing too. Both.
Yeah, we're moving now.
Yeah, next time get a little bit more full into it.
He's been holding that one in.
You can't get excited.
Yeah, they got to break line of sight.
We have eyes on, so we can't do anything. He's trying to be tricky.
We know.
In the clock.
They yelled at him for jaywalking, and now it's now.
Jaywalking is cool and good.
This is why I'm chaotic good. We can cross streets wherever. Don't actually, because we're in a game and not the federal government.
They're up behind.
You have to cross.
We're losing our lady. She's slowly moving behind us.
Dude, I actually hope you're on podcast. No, like I...
Kelsey.
Guys, Smokers Live, you ready to play dodgeball?
Hey,
Watch for balls.
how far away are we?
I'm hearing fire.
Okay, watch the ball. Get up front, we're good. Wait for where our mom's going.
Rear guard is engaging.
Focus down, let's go. Where are we going now?
This is probably a crosswalk.
She's not leading us.
Okay, where are we going then? Sorry.
She's trying to get to that. So do we want to? Guys.
Wolf, I'm reloading.
Crosswalk!
There's a stairwell, but
Yeah, but there's no crosswalk on
okay.
this side. So
Shinobi, just leave. Just
All right, guys, we have to cross the street.
Shinobi, you take care of the front. I'm too focused on.
Oh, that's a big horde there. Oh.
Hey, we need help. We're crossing now. He's giving us space. We have to let them. We have to give them space across.
Guys, watch them when they come across.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Shinobi, you're gonna stay with me. We're gonna keep her, and the three of us are going to stay in the middle of the group.
Okay, so do you want me to lead the group or not?
You need to be in the middle so you don't outpace her. That's the key.
We
You
want
can
to
tell
lead
us
the
where to
group,
go, but you can't
but
be way up
you're
ahead
walking
'cause
away
we have
from
to
us,
stay
and
there.
we're losing you, and we're losing her.
So
You guys keep the two of you together.
We have
I
to
was
go
just
her
scouting out.
I
I'm saying I was requested to be a scout.
You
keep walking forward. The rest of us, we need
No, she needs to be in front. Just we need to.
Just don't go too far because
Yes.
we're getting her at the end and we need to keep her.
I get it.
We're good. We're good.
start walking.
That's the big thing.
Yeah, you're good. You're
Slow
good.
the
You're
pace.
Just start walking. Start walking.
Crossing the road, guys.
Let's give them some space.
Zombies
Hey,
are
you guys
crossing.
cannot keep backing up over her.
Guys, we have to stay between our objective and the zombie.
You can't go that way.
We have 10 zombies lined up for a horde charge.
All right, blasters up!
Engage.
Flanking up the hill.
Okay, she's still walking.
Okay. Now our escort is in the vanguard, guys. Pick it up. Thank you for
Keep
taking
eyes
care of
on
that
your
horde.
rear. Some of them are still alive.
I got you.
I say, Brain be the
Eyes
voice.
on them. Keep eyes. Form up. Call if you need blasters.
1, 2, 3 zombies.
Zombie up on the left.
3 on right.
There's one up in front of us too. Further ahead. We have 3 up on the right trying to flank too.
Yep.
Oh boy.
They don't have a stop sign car.
Oh, we just got it.
Ball, dead ahead.
Smoker ahead.
That's why it's fucking we brawl.
Flanking left. Guys, we have a crosswalk. Crossing. There is a smoker across the road.
You guys, Vanguard, don't let the escort get tagged.
All right, we need.
Here come more. We've got
What's
three
behind us?
on three on side.
They're strung out too.
One's a push.
Keep watching there, guys. We got a whole horde behind us.
All right, Mod, come on.
Hit the ground. It's a dead ball. Ball.
Don't touch it, but it's dead.
Don't touch it.
That's what Mod.
You're inactive.
I can still yell.
Is it not Dead Man Tell No Tales? Come on, campus.
Back.
Lots to the left. Lots to the left.
Back.
Hey, cross it, go!
Cross! Hey, Mod, we are crossing right here. Thank you.
Oh, was that so cool? Did I?
All we have to do is keep up at a mosey, and the zombies have problems keeping up. I like this.
Yeah. We're all walking uphill.
Well, that's true. And they've been running more than we have.
Yeah.
The whole zombies are behind us now.
Contact rear!
Got it! We're good. We know. We got this. Are there more? Oh, that's a sight to see. Thank you, Evan. I just saw half of that group turn and start walking the other way, and so we're either losing half the horde following us or all the horde.
We got one behind us though. Yeah, he's playing push.
And we had to just keep fighting them because UNCC has no built-in follow restrictions. So there's not a, hey, you need to have at least half of these zombies alive in order to follow the humans. Nor is there any kind of, like, restrictions on zombie communication or zombies radioing for other zombies or any of that kind of stuff. So we were fighting this trailing zombie group for probably 15 to 20 minutes without an ability to take a real break and take a breather of any kind. And as with any HVZ, working under a continual push can be kind of difficult. And I think this is really the most indicative of the mods planning for the way their local community plays and not planning for the wider HVZ community who was coming to an invitational, which you always see at any event, right? The local club plays a certain way, we're going to plan that way, and we have some culture clash. The concept of the mission was that we would go point to point and translate these tablets. And these tablets would have, our mod could translate it, and then we would get a new clue, and we would go to a next point, and we might have to run into another mod at that point, and they would trade tablets, and then we would each have a new set of tablet information to work off of. And the problem with this was, we were doing this at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it might have been later, it might have been 3 or 4. It was the hottest point of the day. And we are, again, walking uphill both ways. And as we're walking uphill both ways, sweating bullets, breathing heavy, you're starting to have the clash of, like, speed squad style players in your group and heavy style players in your group. Where the speed squatters want to go, but neither you nor your mod, potentially, are ready to go that hard. And this was the point where my right knee, which has given me problems for over a decade, starts to lock up and give me the kind of problems it gives me. And a couple of our other squad members were breathing heavy and getting hot. And I'm like, guys, I kind of need to go sit down. And we had a mod right there who'd been playing zombie and kind of hassling us. And we're standing in the parking garage, taking a hold, kind of getting ourselves together. And without missing a beat, he looks at us and goes, hey, just deband, head back to the Union, take a break, come back in when you guys are feeling better. There was no, well, you got to finish the mission, you know how it is. There was just an understanding that not everyone is going to be able to participate 100% of the time. And that not everyone's body is going to react the same way to the heat, to the elevation, to the amount of walking you were doing. And that it was perfectly acceptable to take a breath and go sit down and get some water in you and deal with the problems you were having. So we headed back to the Union, and at this point, I actually chose to cease playing. Because, as I said, my right knee was giving me some problems, and I didn't want to aggravate it further in order to have one day of fun, right? When I'm on vacation for the holiday weekend with my fiance, I want to see Phone Pro Tour tomorrow, I'm supposed to meet up with a buddy tomorrow. So I chose to take the exit here. But as I'm sitting in the briefing room with Alex and Dora and Shadow from the auxiliary, and my fiance had shown up, a couple other people could walk in, dehydrated, red in the face, not doing well, cramping up. And then we start hearing rumors that a couple of the mods have fallen out because they're not doing well, that groups are getting eliminated because they just can't keep up anymore. So this would be my only caution for the UNCC mods, or for other mods in the South especially, doing summer games. Maybe for that third mission, right? That mid-afternoon going into early evening mission, try and find something where teams can stop, do a hold at a location, maybe fight off some horde, but in general kind of be stationary, have time to drink, have time to recuperate a little bit, and then move again. The issue with this style of mission for us was we were not familiar with campus. The individuals we had who were familiar with campus weren't following the hints great, so we made a couple of wrong turns, and we were almost 45 minutes before we got anywhere. And by the time we got anywhere at all, we were falling out. So that was mission 3. So mission 4. Obviously, I had bowed out by this point. I had gone to dinner with my fiance, and I'd gotten some real fun text messages. And that's what we're going to talk about. So over the next, 3 days at this point, I've gotten a complete retelling of what occurred, which was the moderators informed the 4 remaining groups of humans, 4 separate rooms, right? That they had to go to 3 separate hold locations, doing a 5-minute hold at each location, to empower those tablets. And that they would then use those tablets to light these pyres in the same quad where we had maintained the hold for mission 2. And if they had 3 or more, they would save humanity. 2 or more would be a shared victory, and any less than that, the zombies win. The other 3 human groups make it to the final hold and hold it successfully. But my guys, they held their own point against a portion of the horde for the rest of the evening in order to become the Magnificent Seven. The Magnificent Seven, of course, number Spike, Dora, Brain, Alex, Shadow, Badger, and Kevin. And per what we've heard from other players, moderators, etc., the indisputable human victory at Endwar was only made possible by the Magnificent Seven. Because you can't really kite zombies or force zombies to stay in one place, theoretically. But as Brain demonstrated earlier in the day, and as the Magnificent Seven demonstrated again in Mission 4, rage can keep someone anywhere. So, with an indisputable victory for the humans, and the saving of Olympus on the books, we move into Foam Pro Tour. So they did Foam Pro Tour on Sunday this year, and I was only there for like a half hour, 40 minutes. I stopped by on my way out to a meadery in Concord because I wanted to see Chris Caruso, because I hadn't seen him all day at the HVZ, and we had talked a bit leading up to the event. So it was a beautiful park, another gorgeous venue. I can't get over how pretty Charlotte is as a city. And Foam Pro Tour led to me having to offer congratulations to the combined Beef Squad Orca Company conglomeration, which took first place, Frumble taking second, the Midnight Tears taking third, and I'll be honest, I'm going to congratulate everybody who participated on Sunday. It was hot, it was blazingly bright sunny, and you had no cover down there where you guys were playing. So good on you for even getting through those matches. It was oppressively hot. So final thoughts on End War 2023. It was a really well-run game. The moderation team at UNCC puts on a great show, and we had a wonderful time. My only issues were the weather was oppressively hot and just blazingly bright all day. Would have been nice to have some cloud cover. And, of course, the reality of the constant difference of planning for your local game versus planning for an invitational. It's something that we run into time and time again at these invitationals, and I'm going to continue running into. I know that, you know that. But you do need to plan for heavies. You need to plan for speed squads. You need to plan different kinds of missions, maybe. PASF did a really good job of having missions that were broken up into if you like to solve puzzles, if you like to just fight things, if you want to run around campus like maniacs, and having those missions in brackets, right? You had first mission, second mission, kind of throwed it down as you ran out of players. The moderators on this campus were exceptionally friendly, exceptionally understanding about everything and anything that may cause difficulties for the players who would come in from out of town and the like. They were understanding about people needing to take medical holds. They were understanding about people being in less great shape than they are, because it came just uphill both ways on this campus. It was nuts. And I can't describe to you my appreciation for people being understanding about the limitations of others, whatever they may be. So hats off to Rogers, Wormy, and the whole moderation team at UNCC. You guys knocked it out of the park. You guys did a great job with the game, and you did a great job with just being decent human beings. And I can't describe how important that is to me as someone who worries constantly about everybody else. I was not at End War 2022. I will not comment on controversies regarding it, people not liking things about it, people having a bad time, people having a great time, etc. What I will say is, in the event that you didn't go to End War 2023 because of End War 2022, I have hope for you. End War 2023 was a very pleasurable experience, and I hope that the improvements are a mark of continued excellence moving forward. That End War will once again be a feather in the collective cap of the community as an event that is safe, pleasant, and understanding towards all people. This isn't, one to rest your laurels on. This isn't one to take as everything's going to be great forever because this event went off great. But it does signal that End War could be really, really good. And that if End War continues to make good choices for who they're working with, if they continue to make good choices in how they work with local clubs, that End War could actually be a huge event in the hobby again. And not, as many of us, myself included, feared, doomed, to fade into the background after the sort of misannouncement that happened with Florida and then the short notice that we had for this game. I can't describe to you how good a time I had at EndWar, which was a surprise because after the sparse attendance at FoamCon and the empty tables, I got really, really worried that this was going to be a bit of a boondoggle. And instead, here I am, cursing my knee that I missed out on Mission 4. So I would like to congratulate the moderators. I would like to congratulate Drac and his team. And I would like to congratulate the humans for a indisputed victory at EndWar 2023. But most of all, I'd like to congratulate my friends, the Magnificent Seven. Thanks much for watching, and I'll be back with one of these whenever I go to another event.